les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbirds Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, par and by BioSteel.
Welcome to the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship on CBC. I'm Justin Brents alongside Scott Koski as we get ready to bring you this U Sports quarterfinal between the UBC Thunderbirds and the Queen's Gaels here from Windsor. Welcome to today's action as we get set for what will be an interesting battle between the 7-seeded UBC and the 2-seeded Queens when it comes to this matchup today. As these teams prepare for today's matchup, we'll look in the next moments here on how they got here, as in how those brackets look. Remember, moments ago, we had our first quarterfinal of this tournament between Laval and Manitoba. Manitoba, just minutes ago, had picked up that victory 3-0 to be able to move on. Now, in regards to the bracket side of things, the conversation gets interesting from here because you have some powerful teams in this battle looking to try to advance. The number 2 seed Queens, mind you, came with an OUA gold coming off the OUA tournament, or third in the OUA standings coming in. They're also 3-0 in the postseason to advance here. So Queens has momentum, but same can be said for the Thunderbirds, who finished 19-1 over the course of the regular season. Scott, these two teams going to have an interesting dynamic here between Canada West and OUA.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Both of these teams are very similar styles. Both teams can apply a lot of service pressure. You have Reed, we got Venning and Mitrovic on the Queen's side. You have Gingera and Greaves and Pratt on the Thunderbirds side. Very similar styles of games, strong on the opposite, strong in the middle. Both experienced setters, strong at the libero category. It's going to be a really good matchup.
For the
so
UBC
on that note, as the introductions continue on down stadium side for today, talk about as we go on first UBC, because UBC on the court at the moment came with the bronze in the Canada West tournament. Their first loss in the postseason came at a critical time, to say the very least. Only one loss in regular season, ranked number 2 originally coming in terms of the championship favorites. Also, UBC has a lot of momentum coming in.
Number 8,
UBC had a tremendous season, right? 19-1 record
Number
overall.
10, Nicholas
They overcame a pretty significant injury to one of their players, Gavin
Number
Mose,
11, Danny
one of their experienced outside guys.
Ross.
He missed a significant amount of time with an ankle
Number
injury. One of their
13,
younger guys,
Alex
Alex Borowski, stepped in. You know, and then their veteran
Number
guys,
14, Dawson
Greaves and
Pratt.
Gingera, really stepped up and carried the load for them.
Number 15, Calvin.
You know, I'm sure they're not very satisfied with the way that opening
Number
match
18,
went in the Canada West
Alex
semifinal, but
Borowski.
you know, as we just saw, right, that Manitoba team can play a really
Number
strong
19,
serve block
Derek
game, and UBC just got caught on the wrong side of that.
And number
Queens,
20,
for comparison's sake, is an interesting dynamic because, as I said, got the OUA gold just this past week. so they have momentum in that way, but they were a part of what was a 3-horse race when it comes to the championship side of things, with U of T, with University of Windsor, and of course, Queens, the third team in that mix.
Yeah, I was chatting to Coach DeGroot last week, before the OUA final, right? And they had a few ups and downs this season, but as they usually do, right? They're quite comfortable and confident in their identity and who they are. And when it got around to the end of the season, there they were again.
Opening service coming up after the break. Live from the University of Windsor, you're watching the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championships on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Welcome back to Windsor and the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship on CBC. Just moments away from our starting lineup introductions here in the next 30 seconds. Your quick thoughts before we get to today's starters.
I would say most of the people that I've talked to, have this one as probably their most anticipated matchup, of all the first round matchups. Not to say that all the other teams are at any different level, but the expectation level, I think, for this one is higher, knowing that the level that both teams have performed at all season long.
We'll see how well they perform today over the course of this one. But as the warm-ups conclude, and as we get set for today, the final lineup cards now being handed out, it's time now to meet the starting lineups for today's game. Let's throw it down to Stadium PA announcer Scott Scantlebury down courtside.
The officials for today's match on the stand will be Andrew Cameron. On the floor, Marie-Claude Lebec. The lines judges, Réjean Godmer, Dave Williams, Andrew Advincula, and Ryan Clutton. The official scorers, Holly Roy and Catherine McMahon. Here is the starting lineup for the number 7 ranked UBC Thunderbirds. Outside hitter, number 2, Reeve Gingera. Setter, number 8, Mason Greaves. Middle blocker, number 13, Alex Emery. Outside hitter, number 14, Dawson Pratt. Outside hitter, number 18, Alex Borowski. Middle blocker, number 20, Kieran Robinson Dunning. The liberos, number 3, Parker Ocampo, and number 4, Logan Greaves. The head coach of the UBC Thunderbirds is Michael Hawkins. Here is the starting lineup for the number 3 seeded Queens Gaels. Outside hitter, number 8, Nikola Metrovic. Outside hitter, number 9, Ben Carr. Center, number 11, Chris Zimmerman. Opposite side hitter, number 17, Reed Benning. Middle blocker, number 19, Alex Verderovich. Middle blocker, number 20, Isaac Zabjek. The liberos, number 4, Carson Francis. And number 14, Carter Sedgwick. The head coach of the Queens Gaels is Gabriel de Groot. Serving to open the first set of the match for Queens, number 17, Reed Benning.
We're on the push. That time, Brokowski trying to push it. Now, setting things up. Greaves, push across, out.
That's wide.
Queens on
Point,
the board first.
Queens.
Yeah, great start. If you're Coach DeGroot on the other side there, Benning delivers a really strong serve to the front court receiver here, Borowski, and puts them in a bit of difficulty right off the get-go. That's a good first rally if you're Queens.
1 serving 0. Clipping the net this time. Quick swing down the line.
That's long.
Nice range,
Point,
too far.
Queens.
Kieran Robinson Dunning trying to set things up down the line originally.
Yeah, nice reception by Robinson Dunning. Benning gets a little chip off the net. Gingera swings out of position 1. It's a good hit, a little bit long. If you're UBC, you're happy with that.
Looking to make it 3 straight on the point tallies. Set up the swing, played by Queens. Scramble on the setup. Now the Thunderbirds look for the quick response, get themselves up
Point,
on the board.
UBC.
There's Robinson Dunning, one of the top blockers in Canada West.
To the service line.
That's going to be key to the UBC game. Now you see
Number
Greaves
8,
on the cross court
Mason
dig there. That
Greaves.
was a bit of a tough swing for Queens. Greaves delivers a good dig that can be transitioned.
lot to talk about when it comes to Greaves the next few moments or so. That's the swing.
Off the
away,
block.
off the
Point.
tool. And Queens continuing to score points early. 3 serving 1.
Nice reception by Carr down the line. Mason Greaves, one of the best servers in Canada with that float serve. Carr handles it nicely, goes block out down the line. Great start for him.
That brings Ben Carr, one of the second-year players from Surrey, BC, to the service line. Played well on the receive. The Thunderbirds blocked initially on their first attempt. Second attempt soft. Third attempt forced to reset. That time Pratt. For the running start, the swing to the back line. Played well by the Thunderbirds. Commit on the pass. Set back up. Led by Trovich. And Queens gets the point. 4-1 already.
You can see how some of these small plays are going to play such an important role in the game. You have Greaves misses that set a little bit. Queens makes a great decision to not allow the block out. Mitrovic able to score in transition.
Ben Carr up at the line, 155 kills over the course of the season. Flipping the net this time. Pushed along, blocked along, but it's going to go the way of UBC. They break up the run by Queens. Now they trail by 2.
Borowski on the outside edge of Mitrovic on the block there. He's one of the best blockers in OUA. That was a big score by Borowski.
So UBC sets things up this time. Borowski, this time into the net. Couldn't get it over. It's a service error.
Yeah, not the serve you want to see starting off. You know, Borowski, a young guy, he's going to take him a little while to find his footing in this type of match.
Bredervik now to the line. He is one of the top kill getters for this team. 100 for the course of the season. So you're in OUA play. Immediately a part of the block attempts this time. Queens scrambling through, but signal going the way of the Thunderbirds.
We see again, Mitrovic, we get to the replay here, maybe not, but it's a heck of a block by Mitrovic on Pratt. It actually goes off of Pratt's head and catches the sidelines. So
sets up Robinson Dunning for a serve. Keep in mind, 1.52 service aces sat in Canada West play for UBC this season. Is up quick, swing, point. Queens again on the board. Subject this time, the 4th-year kinesiology major from Cambridge.
Yeah, UBC strength in the middle is also Queen's strength in the middle. Good reception like that. That's a great hit down to position 1-6 over there. Really hard to defend.
The OUA champion of EDI award winner Chris Zimmerman now up that time on the serve. Blocked by one Queen Gael. Now setting things up on the swing back. Scramble to try and free it. The kick. And a good attempt to try and keep the rally going, but that was well far to the corner.
Yeah, it was almost a Greaves to Greaves save over there, but on the Queen's side, the fastball to Gingero, really nice block by Venning. He gets a nice touch on it. They can control one-on-one on the outside.
Zimmerman stays at the line. Did he get it? No. Just a tick over for a service error. And for serving 7 as a result, that brings UBC back to serve with Dawson Pratt. Pratt look to try and get himself some momentum here. Played low. Set up, blocked initially on the first swing. Second swing a little bit softer from Venning. Now back for a third attempt to Venning. 3 times the charm. This it is. To the back it goes and out off the touch.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to do what Venning just did there. 3 straight swings against an outstanding double block of Greaves and Emery, and to maintain his composure, to hit such a good shot, that's really impressive.
There's Mitrovic. Playing now for the swing. Hardy slammed through. That time by UBC, one of the Canada West first team All-Stars getting involved there.
That's big side out control. That was a really good serve on the Queen side. Mitrovic puts a great serve in there. UBC handles it. That's one of those first ball side outs that we were talking about that can really help your side build momentum.
Jera involved on that swing. That sends it to the service line. He's also a part of the Canada Next Gen team. That one counts as a service error. Back to Queens go the points, 9 serving 5.
Yeah, advantage to Queens early on the make rate, right? They've had Venning, Mitrovic hit some really good serves. The miss by Zimmerman was close, and UBC hasn't found that quite yet.
Jack now back to serve. This time goes out. Back and forth we go on service errors this time.
A little bit of a miss hit there by Zavjak. Looked like almost got the result, but.
Sour Brain, Alex Emery from Delta BC up. The younger second-year players for the squad. Played well by Queens. Swing across. The setup back. Going to aim for the back. Rolski trying to aim back line, went over it, and still got the touch.
Yeah, good transition swing by Borowski. Recognizing the situation there. Big block in front of him. The only out is high touch.
That's going to set up the serve once again by UBC. Set high on the receive. Back over on the tap, a scramble. That time initiated by Pratt. Blocked on the first attempt. Set up for a second swing across. Robinson Dunning fakes in the pipe, down the side instead. Reset again. So they go to the near side. Rolski try and go his way again. Tic-tac-toe gets it across from side to side.
Yeah, impressive rally by both sides. Wow, good finish at the end here inside the block. Carr makes a nice reception. A good spot by Borowski on that sharp cross court there for the point.
Cross court play. See UBC try and tie it at 9 early here on CBC. Set up Venning, blocked, and down for the UBC point. We're back to 9 apiece after a Queens 9-5 lead moments ago.
Yeah, ball that Zimmerman probably wants back. You know, Venning's an attacker that can get up there. That ball was a little bit inside, not a lot of angle for him. Borowski makes a nice play.
On the running Storm. Setting things up for Venning. Played well, set things up this time on the far side. Dig attempt. Initially picked up by Zimmerman. Tap across, received once again for the setup. The swing, the points. Yet again. Borowski getting involved. Yet a very high hit percentage this season.
Yeah, you see during the rally here, the left side hitter Carr actually gets caught in the middle there. Greaves recognizes it, sets a fastball to Borowski that they just can't react to.
Borowski this season, .374 in the hit percentage this regular season. Setting things up again. Down the side seems to be the play. This time off the touch. 10 apiece. As we work our way through.
Last couple serves there, Emery did a nice job getting it on the front row attacker Carr. This one, it leaves it a little bit in the seam. Mitrovic takes it, frees up Carr for the high line.
That sets Reed Venning back up. .63 service aces per set. That's tops in the nation. And that time just over. Ends up being a service error to give the advantage back to UBC.
Well, really close miss there for Venning. He was right on the line. I had a teammate used to call those good misses. You know, you hate to give up the point, but he's got his range.
Line starts, and that goes out on the center touch. Mason Greaves, the U Sports Outstanding Player of the Year, and Canada West MVP, just over top the line there.
Yeah, service error each side catches, you know, kind of washes that out. See where we go.
Ben Carr looking to settle on in 11 apiece. Played low, setting things up for the heart swing. Nicely done this time. Gingera this time involved.
Yeah, watch on the reception here. Gingera receives that ball really well, and then Greaves gives it to him on the pipe, right? I think Queens did what they wanted to do, make Gingera receive. Just a high-level play by both Greaves and Gingera to side out of that.
Greaves a part of a lot of these assists here. Keep an eye on that. He was the top assist getter when it came to Canada West this year. Flying high after the hard swing. Comes Venning going down the line. Set up Greaves. The swing off a couple taps. Set things up back down for the off the touch. Yes, Queen's point.
Yeah, Zimmerman, you see that in the transition. Compare that to the last game, right? Zimmerman lays that ball up high for Mitrovic. It's maybe a little bit higher than UBC was expecting. He does a nice job, works it off the top of the block. Really hard for UBC to defend.
That'll bring up Bert Erevic, third-year engineering student from Hamilton. Clips the tape. Greaves, initial setup, goes off the blockers to UBC's pocket for the points.
Yeah, Zabjak, a good read there on that one. Read the situation. UBC got it where it needed to be to run the middle. Nice play on both sides.
They'll set things up with Robinson Dunning. For a few sets through on serves today for both sides. This time drops down for the Queen's kill.
Man, that is an impressive play by Mitrovic on that one. We don't catch that on the replay. He receives that ball inside and then gets it, cuts it back sharp inside the block. That's a high-level play.
So far, Queen's attack, by the way, pretty balanced when it comes to kills as the serve goes away. 5 different players with kills. That is one of them. Mitrovic is the leader in that category, gets more than 3 up to 4 now.
Yeah, strong net presence here. These balls are a lot harder than they look, trying to play those ones that are coming over that way. Makes a nice play, composed play, takes the point.
Zimmerman now the server. Zimmerman avoids service error this time. Swing goes strong. Was there a touch? No. Queens gets the point. 15 serving 13.
Yeah, the serving strategy here. You see Zimmerman. He missed that in his first serving turn. He missed in that long seam between 6-1. Here he's dropping it in here between the UBC receivers, forcing the ball to come from behind the setter.
Zimmerman this time, swing away. Good setup by Greaves, but powered away. Roski going on over, and that sparks our first time out.
Yeah, you'd have to think for Coach DeGroot, this is something that they've game planned for, right? This particular rotation, every team has something that they see on film, something that they put on their game plan that they think they can take advantage of. You know, this is a tough rotation here for UBC with Zimmerman locating the serve on that side. You know, good runs, a couple of errors that I don't think Coach Hawkins is going to mind. Really, really close misses. Greaves is structuring his offense okay. Once it comes back around with the result, I think they'll be all right.
As you see, CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. The best U Sports women's volleyball teams head to Langley, BC for the 2026 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship, presented by Booster Juice, March 13th to 15th. Catch the action exclusively on CBC GM, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports, we're on CBC, where champions are made. Working our way through the timeout and what's been a close one so far. Queens with the advantage, 16-13. Now we'll see what adjustments are made here by UBC to try and close this gap back up.
You know, being comfortable in these situations, right? That's what, you know, all these top teams can do, right? You know, +3, -3, just staying on your game and see how it unfolds.
Chris Zimmerman. Time with the serve, the hard swing. There is something to spark a rally possibly. Alex Emery the kill.
Yeah, it was good float serve. Greaves delivers a nice ball. Going to the high percentage option, Emery in the middle. That's a big side out.
Set things up on the loft. It's Pratt into the net and goes for a service error. And that is not what the doctor ordered in that case. They've had now 3, 4 of them at least here. This will set Queens back up to swing. Mitrovic, whistles blow. As that goes UBC point, it looks like someone crossed underneath the net.
Yeah, it's hard to see what actually happened on that one on the replay, but Queens will just shake that one off and away they go.
Yep, that will bring Jara back up to swing. 4th in Canada West in kills per set, and point goes back the other direction with an issue.
Yeah, foot fault by Jara on that serve there. You know, UBC's really struggled to get any sort of service rhythm going early. You know, if you're Queens, you don't like the misses, but as long as the score keeps progressing at +3, you're all right with it.
Northampton now up to serve. And service error. About that point you just made. Well, back to a service error.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, the game's losing a little bit of the rhythm here. You know, if you're the team that's leading, you don't really mind that. But it's hard to play that game. It's a little risky.
Emery, the server again. This time a clean serve. Waiting off Zimmerman on the setup. Time pushed over by Ben Carr initially. This time over top two blockers, a response. Queens scrambling around, and it looks like someone crossed the zone. A little bit of trouble right across the net in the pot area.
Do you remember the last time around when Emery was serving here, right? He was able to get at Carr in the front row. Okay, same thing on that serve there. The serve was very well located right at Carr, put some pressure on him to attack. UBC takes the transition point.
Set up a solid serve that time from Emery. Now they're just to the net. Some troubles there. Set up a swing straight to the block. Reset led by Petrovic. Venning has it powered back. Off the touch and out. Queens point 19-17.
Early in that rally, the liberos, you know, you see them on the serve receive, you see them on the defense, but the cover that Carson Francis made on that play to extend that rally was exceptional. That all started there.
So Venning so far having a solid night. He'll serve it away here. Greaves the setup, the swing down the line, but no touch. It went outside out that time, 20-17.
Strong serve by Venning. Fastball to the outside. Tough to see on this side how much line Zimmerman is giving to Borowski. You know, it seemed like it was the right choice to try to get it off the outside edge of the block there and just missed.
On that note, fans, U-Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future U-Sports Championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win U-Sports prizes. Join the U-Sports fan panel at usportsfans.ca. Good amount of fans coming in as the match progressed so far today. Being entertained by what's been a solid matchup so far in set one, living up to the billing with the 2 and 7 seeds.
Yeah, I think, you know, UBC, we talked about it right off the beginning, right? You want to have a high make rate early on your serve to make sure that you're able to play yourself into the game. You know, Queens has been able to manage that. UBC probably not as well as they would have liked, which puts a little bit of pressure on some other parts of your game.
And this will set Venning up this time to serve yet again. So far, no aces on the match, but we've had a combined 10 errors from the service line. Graves sets things up, blocked off. Wilski trying to get it on over. Queens gets to celebrate that one.
Big serve by Venning out of the timeout. You know, UBC handles it as well as you would like to handle that one, I think. A strong serve from Venning. You know, again, on the outside, just great game plan by Queens to take the line away.
Venning will set things up. Trying to continue this rally this time. Another solid receive. Solid swing up into the rafters, hits the rafters. Carter Sedgwick, one of the liberos, couldn't hold it.
Just a high-level rally there. Great serve by Venning, great pass by Pratt. Greaves makes a nice choice. That was the ball Jajera just hit long, if you remember, earlier in the set. Now one makes no mistake, fires it right down the line.
And in response, look at that, our first ace of the match. And it comes from one of the best players in the country. In fact, the most outstanding player, Mason Greaves.
Yeah, player of the year, Mason Greaves. We mentioned earlier, really, really strong service game there. That was an excellent location on that one.
Also really good at digs. He had 141 of them in Canada West play. Not going to have to do one there because it's tooled away on Lockett's. Queens 22, UBC 19.
And a game like this, you got to match high-level play with high-level play, and that maybe didn't look like it, but that pass that Carson Francis made on that short serve, Zimmerman delivers to the outside on the block out. That's a high-level action, both sides.
Back to Carr we go. Looking to drive Queens forward. Greaves the setup, the initial block leads to the point. The block ready by Queens for Robinson Dunning swing.
Yeah, you see Brdarevic here. He's got help from Mitrovic. Lots of pressure on Robinson Dunning there.
That will keep Carr at the line. Got by 4. Carr plays it off the libero this time. Swing down, played on the scramble by Queens. Set up with Mitrovic. Back it goes on the bounce. Off the touch, Queens now setting up her possible set point.
Great defensive transition there by Queens. You know, sometimes you play yourself into situations where the ball bounces your way, right? That was a great hit from UBC. Dig goes into the net, sits there perfectly for the transition. Point for Queens.
Try and clinch up set 1. Carr with a tough serve. Overcommit on the receive. Queens gets it. They pick up set 1.
Similar to Friday in the OUA final. You know, Queens is comfortable in this facility. They're used to serving here. You know, that's a really high level of service pressure from Queens. That's the game that Queens likes to play. They were able to execute it during the first set, got the result that they were looking for.
Queens takes set 1. It's getting 25-19. You're watching the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship on CBC.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
CBC Sports is Canada's home for university sport. The best university swimmers in Canada are in Markham, Ontario at the 2026 U Sports Swimming Championships. Daily coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time with heat, followed by medal races at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The 2026 U Sports Swimming Championships exclusively on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made. Justin Prince, Scott Koski with you as we get ready for set number 2. Queens with the advantage 1-0 after what was a close one for majority of the time. But as you said, the serve receive and the service game in general, big for setting up points for Queens late.
Yeah, their ability to make some of the small plays. When we go back to that cover that Francis had there, extending some rallies, making some digs. Queens has got to be satisfied with how they started.
Back underway with UBC on the serve. Queens will set things up with Venning immediately blocked. Block ready from the far side from 2 players more than 6'6".
Big block from UBC on that outside there. Borowski with a nice set. Robinson Dunning with the close to the outside. That's how UBC wants this one to start.
Now set Greaves up. Greaves gets himself a low serve and gets himself an ace. UBC starting with some momentum here in set 2.
In set 1, Queens came out with the high service make rate, put a little bit of pressure here. UBC taking their turn on this now with a couple of great serves by Greaves.
Another tough serve, this forcing a third toss across. Now set up on the far side. Played well on the swing initially by Borowski. Swing response by Queens off the touch. Queens on the board.
Now we talked a lot about little plays there. That difficult ball that Queens has on their side. They play it over short. UBC just a little bit off on the free ball. They're able to, Francis able to get the dig and make the transition kill.
Venning will now set up back of the line. And into the net goes Venning. UBC point. So far today, service errors, that's now 6 for Queens.
It's a game that Queens is comfortable with. You know, they have a big serving game. They don't get too discouraged. It doesn't change how they play when they're not making them.
Borowski trying to go. Borowski on the swing. All right, 4 kills today. Watch for him on the attack. Instead, it goes over Pratt. Now it goes back to Pratt a second time. This time a scramble forces a free. Setting back up on the setup. Greaves up the middle. There's that number, but it's too strong. Borowski going too far over on the swing.
Yeah, you go back in that rally again. Francis makes a really nice dig on a really hard hit early in that rally. Queens is able to save it.
Keep in mind, Carson Francis, one of the U Sports All-Rookie team players, an OUA All-Rookie, is a part of the Liberos for Queens. As UBC gets the point back on the service error, they still lead by 2 in the set. And now Brain, Robinson, and Dunning back up to swing. Robinson Dunning specifically with 2 kills, 1 assist, 1 block assist early on in this match. Queens now sets up on the attack. Hard swing, knocked loose. Petrovis will get himself credit for the point as that bounced off a couple of different UBC players.
Greaves almost had that down there in position 1. You see an experienced outside guy, Petrovic. He's up high, works the block, forces the defense to recover. It's a nice sequence by Queens.
That brings up Petrovic. Set up on the near side. Played off to UBC Libero. Swing back down. Was there a touch? No. Queens point. Swing too strong yet again. We're tied up at 4 again.
Yeah, Jajera looking for the high touch there. He's an explosive jumper, an explosive attacker. Just a little bit over the top of Zimmerman.
Regroup again. Ervik so far with 1 kill, a couple assists, gets targeted this time for the kill. UBC again responds with power.
Yeah, good serve by Badarevic there. You see Greaves handle that serve, put it right in the situation for his brother to set up Alex Emery, high percentage play.
Yeah, Logan Greaves going to be that libero Mason, the setter, mind you, for much of the day today. See that targeting Logan in that case, but going out regardless. UBC point. That grows the gap to 2, 6 serving 4.
Yeah, short side set by Zimmerman there. Venning, you see where he is. He's starting way over here in position 6. Takes him a long time to get around. Pretty good shot down the line, just missed.
That sets up Pratt. And that sets up a service error. Second for him today. That will give Queens serve back. Couple coaching adjustments being sent over by Gabriel DeGroot.
I see Zimmerman back to serve here. This is the rotation. UBC's 1 further along than they were last time.
See how this part of the rotation works. This time off the touch. UBC gets the point either way.
Yeah, similar situation as in the first set there. Mace coming out of position 4, gets across, lays a nice ball in there for Emery for the block out. It's good serve by Zimmerman, good side out by UBC.
Gingera back to Swain. 3 kills today. This time received well by Queens. Setting up Benning again off the block. Queens point. That counts again for Toole.
Solid pass by Carr. You see Zimmerman with a little bit of speed. Short side there, he plays just over top of the middle blocker. Zabjak Benning does a nice job of hitting that ball flat into the block. Deflection out for the point.
Trovic sets up for a hearty Swain. Too strong, and that went on the wrong side of the antenna. That will go Queens direction. 7-7, in fact. We'll see ties up now this time.
Yeah, it's big serve there to even things up. You see, if the ball passes outside of the antenna, you are allowed to bring it back on your other side or on your own side. That one there went inside. It's out of play.
Oh, in that situation, this is off the tape. 2 touches. Third has to free across. Now setting up off Zimmerman. Set up the swing. Almost looked like they went off the side of the hand. If anything, trying to go outside.
Yeah, it's tough situation. Like I said earlier, right? You got guys on a serving run there. You want to give them that pipe ball. Just a little bit of a miss hit by Mitrovic. Great scramble by Greaves though on that serve. That really should have been an ace. Greaves saved it.
Emery again on the rotation back to Swain. 1 kill so far. This goes out for a service error. Again, back and forth we go. 8 apiece now. That will bring Zabjak as the server yet again. As we continue to go back and forth on the rotation. So far, 2 errors at the service line when it comes to his time there. And make it 3.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's 3 different misses for Zabjak there. Pardon me. Right, your coach DeGroot there. When he comes around next time, you want to make sure that we get something in play.
One of the Greaves able to swing it away. Mason. This time joust at the net. Reset. Greaves setting things up on the swing off a couple touches. Pratt gets the point.
Yeah, you see Greaves here in the transition ball. The rally is a little bit scrambled. The pace of the rally is high. Greaves accelerates that ball to Pratt. Left-handed attacker hits it quick. Queens defense just can't get set.
Pratt 209 kills over the course of the regular season, by the way. Very stellar at that mark. He's a part of the block this time. UBC getting a rally going up 3.
Zimmerman on that one, probably not happy with the location in the end. The speed was okay, little low in the hitting zone, makes it really hard for Carr.
So back to serve again, Mason Greaves. And this time the receive goes back to him for the setup. Taken away Mason on the dig attempt. Block at the net. Both Greaves getting involved in this rally on that initial setup. Zimmerman this time sets things up, block Mitrovic, but bounces around. Queens gets the point.
Very, very nice rally here on both sides. You can see UBC, the strong service game from Greaves, putting a lot of pressure on Queens, but that rally, they're able to stay in it, get themselves a good swing for the point.
Reed Venning continuing. What has been a solid day at the line for him. Solid serve between the Greaves it bounces off of, but it counts as a tool. Yet again, UBC hits it off the Queens blockers.
Good play on both sides there, right? Venning, that's the serve that you want, right in the seam. Passed up nicely by UBC. Pratt lets that ball as a left-hander, lets it get to the line, works the outside edge of Zimmerman's block.
Will bring Koski now up in another service error. Doesn't go over this time. So it's been a challenge all day today. 10 serving 12. Both teams haven't used the timeout yet. That brings up Carr. Carr, well received. Well hit back in response. We'll set things up with a hearty swing this time, but Mitrovic yet again for the kill.
Yeah, if you see the transition play on this one, watch here, Zimmerman, see how he lifts that ball up? We talked about that in the first set a little bit. He gives Mitrovic the chance to get up there. That opens the angles for him. Experienced outside guy like that takes it where it needs to go.
Carr in turn, looking to add to his 3 kills and 2 assists here. He's also been a part of some deflections. That hits the net. His first service error today. 13 serving 11.
Now +1 on the transition here. Queens has to be patient. You know, you play this game -2 here. The side out game needs to be strong. You can grab one on your serve once in a while. It's a big serve here for Robinson Dunning.
Has to serve this well. Get it into play. Yes, he can. Played off the libero that time. Francis, but a quick response. Queens again. Good setup on the attack.
Strong libero play from the first-year player Francis here. You can't really see it on the replay, but he takes the ball from Carr, just like we talked about Mitrovic there, puts it right where it needs to be. 4 attackers coming at UBC. Queens has the advantage.
That was with Bert Arovic, and he sets up this time as the server. Point softer. Scramble with the Greaves, setting up well. A long, lofty setup for Venning off Zimmerman. A scramble back for free. Zimmerman goes for the cross. Blocked on the initial attempt. Trying to go Mitrovic. Mitrovic a second time. Gets in a battle with the net. Now setting up. Jera gets it over, and it drops down for the UBC point.
Yeah, early in that rally, the free ball came over. Zabjak just didn't quite get it where it needed to be. You know, we talk about the small things, but at this level, you know, 1 or 2 balls difference makes a real impact.
Dawson Pratt swings it away. Zimmerman, Hardy cut down. What a swing back by Zabjak to get the kill.
Good job by Zimmerman, experienced setter. You know, maybe knows that this guy's not so satisfied with that last action. Goes to him in transition. Really high level shot, deep in position 1. Hard to block, hard to dig.
It's led to some impressive plays, to say the very least, here today. Continuing on with the rally. Back and forth we go a bit. This time, Gingera gets it down for the point off the touch.
Zabjak and Venning with a good read on that one. They slow it down. Gingera hits that ball with such velocity. Just a little bit unfortunate that the Queens libero can't get it up, but that was a great play.
Gingera. Set things up. As Coach Michael Hawkins watches along. Of course, the CWN U Sports Coach of the Year, and his team gets himself a point. 16-13, one of the largest leads in the set.
Yeah, Coach DeGroot looking for the timeout here. 3-point gap at this point in the set makes a big difference. It's a really strong serve by Gingera there. He comes in after that transition kill, hits a strong serve down the line that kind of pins Carr down there. Queens is a little bit scrambly. Greaves finishes off with the double.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports women's hockey teams as they face off in the 2026 Norway Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Woolwich, Ontario. The action begins Thursday, March 19th on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made. Part of championship season when it comes to U Sports competition. Happy to have you with us here on CBC for the course of this weekend. But now the big adjustment. What do you do if you're Queens to try and get this rally back your way after we've seen at this point Queens had turned the switch for their advantage?
Yeah, I think at this particular moment coming out of the timeout here, you know that Gingera's just hit a really strong serve down the line here, located it very well. Coming out of the timeout, 3 points up. You always have to be prepared for the strong serve from Gingera, but he's also a very intelligent player, right? So you got to make sure that you're playing the play that happens and not the play that you're anticipating. So, Queens really needs a solid reception here. A first ball side out if they're going to keep this close.
Gingera sets up this time from the near side. High spin, high dive. Will set up Venning on the swing, up to the Raptors, and that nearly lands in the 7th row, if not the 9th row.
Excellent communication there again early in the rally between Francis and Mitrovic. Chijera hits a beautiful cut serve. Francis handles it. Zimmerman locates for Venning. That's the side out they needed.
Playing this now, Mitrovic. Played well on the receive this time from Pratt after the high speed, and off the blockers it goes into the grandstands. Everyone makes the off the touch signal.
Experienced center Greaves going to the attacker that's on a bit of a heater right now. Jajeris hit a couple of good serves, couple of good transition attacks. See if he can carry UBC across the finish line here.
Alex Emery, 17, serving 14 here in set 2. Oh, and a little bit of an overpass on the receive, setting up Gingera for the kill.
Gingera again, Greaves knows exactly where his guy is, right? That's a situation. Again, Zabjak in the front row. That's a tough serve, tough situation for the middle blocker to have to play that when he's trying to get out of the corner. Doesn't quite get it where it needs to go. Lots of pressure on that free ball with one middle blocker trying to block both the middle guy and the pipe hitter. Advantage UBC.
Fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future U Sports Championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win U Sports prizes. Join the U Sports fan panel at usportsfans.ca. And I will say, looking along the grandstands just below where you can see on frame, there is a sea of Queens fans that have been holding up signs a little bit, and many of those parents that have traveled in UBC mixed in with some of the locals attending. Many of the family members and many of the team supporters traveling in groups to be able to watch the Nationals this year. The excitement level continues to remain high here as we get ready for this next serve. Played well by Alex Emery on the initial swing for the serve. Now bounced around after the Robinson-Dunning attack. Now Venning, yet again, played off the back. Reset for Pratt. Pratt, hitting it down, went out. It goes Queens point.
Fortunate bounce there for Queens. It was good transition run by UBC, playing the game they want to play. Bounce just didn't go their way.
Yeah, got helped by that net a little bit up the top tape. If that also, that sent that line.
Zabjak going back again to serve here.
Yes. Can he get himself some momentum built up here? He's got a couple errors here tonight. Played well this time by UBC. This time off the touch of the blockers. UBC gets the point. That time off the touch of Ben Carr.
Well, better serve by Zabjak there that time. You know, Coach DeGroot showing some confidence in the young guy, letting him hit a serve, knows that he's going to need him later in the match.
This sets up the opportunity for Mason Greaves. Zimmerman, set up, swing back, once again popped up by Queens. Push across by Borowski. Borowski popped up, pushes back for the setup of the swing for Pratt, blocked again. Reset, led by Mason Greaves. Tapped across with the right hand for the point.
That short side set by Greaves in transition, you can see here on the replay. Look how close he is to Pratt when he sets this. It's really hard for the blocker to start inside to help with the middle and then release outside, especially on the tip. It's a great play by the veteran side of Greaves.
That keeps Mason Greaves serving 20, serving 15. Played up off the libero, Francis. Venning has a ricochet off of Mason Greaves into the stands.
Yeah, you see Coach DeGroot on the side there, right, encouraging his team to bring the emotional level up a little bit. That's what happens when Queens plays their best. You know, you can still try to control that even at this point in the set.
See this time from Venning off the tape. Some Greaves. Swing back down yet again. Pratt. And Pratt gets the kill.
Yeah, Pratt's heating up a little bit here. He's had a couple of transition kills, taking over from where Gingero left off. That one right through the block. Again, a little bit of a fortunate bounce. Point for UBC.
So server this time with the change. This is Calvin Zhu, comes in. Third-year player from Vancouver, coming up to the line. Played well. Benny, yet again, powered back. Set up off the libero. Trying to go two-handed that time, Gingero. Stop push back, block for Pratt, swing. Reset, they go back to the Pratt well. Over, top three blockers for the point.
Nice read by Pratt on that situation. The ball was high enough. Pratt made a really good early read on that. Queens in the triple block situation. Pratt's able to take it over the top.
Sue now sets back up. He goes a little bit longer this time with it. Went to the back instead. Hardy, swing, that time Mitrovic. Back to Gingero in response, going towards his direction. Calling his number, UBC with momentum late.
Mason and Logan Greaves in the back row here have really changed the flow of this game. That one there, Mason with a great cross-court dig.
Comes Sue. 23-16 here on the set. Queens having multiple dimes. They push it across. Set back for Pratt for the kill. Possible set point next.
UBC just in such a position of advantage here. You know, free balls right at the spot where Greaves wants it. Three front row hitters, really hard to stop for Queens.
Sue looks to keep it going. Zimmerman laid off of him. That tapped out. Going to Queens for the point, still a possible set point.
Berderovich with a nice take on that reception. He's coming in there, handles it with his hands, gets in there, makes a nice swing high through the double block.
Here we go. Queens looking to try and do an improbable rally down 7. Greaves setting up Gingero on the joust. Whistles blow. And it looks like signal goes Queens.
Yeah, that's a really dangerous play by Gingero there. Holy smokes, if you see that on the replay, he's got both feet on the other side of the center line. You know, we're very fortunate we didn't have an injury there.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a tight call there. And now, that sets up 18 serving 24. Third possible set point of this set. This time, Sue on the receive. Pratt gets it down for the kill, and UBC gets set 2.
Yeah, nice bounce back there by UBC. You know, in the middle of the set when they needed it, Greaves went to Gingero. When Gingero was on a bit of a roll, later in the set when Pratt was in the front row, playing that short side, high tempo game with Pratt, really, really hard to stop.
On that note, UBC takes set 2, 25-18. You're watching the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship on CBC.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Du Nord-Ouest, le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition, que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports men's hockey teams as they face off in the 2026 University Cup, presented by Steel Mazda, live from Halifax. The action begins Thursday, March 19th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made. Just Brent Scott Koski with you as we get ready for set number 3. Evened up at one set apiece so far, looking pretty tight.
Yeah, one set apiece is probably where most people would have thought this match would be. You know, Queens was very, very good in that first set. You know, maybe a little bit higher than what the numbers would indicate the game would be. But the game's all evened out here right now. We'll see where it goes.
Here we go for set number 3, starting with Venning. He'll lead things off with a hearty swing to begin. It's time. Hera, that time across. Tapped back over. Tight play gets Queens up on the board to start set number 3.
Venning starts with a strong serve. Queens then able to convert on the transition play. Zimmerman gets the ball up nice and high there for Carr.
Set things up again. Popped up. Blocked down. Will this kick out? Yes, it's off the tool. UBC gets the point on the swing that time. Set up by Borowski.
Strong serve by Venning down the line there. Borowski does a nice job. He does both the pass and the hit. Gets the block out. That's a good start for him.
Back underway for play. Time tap back down. Libero digs down. Swing back over, played by Dawson Pratt. Responds the battle yet again, led by Ben Carr. They go over to Venning on the near side. Greaves sets things up again, and once again, Borowski gets himself involved. Borowski getting another swing down.
Zimmerman leaving that ball just a little bit short for Venning, I think, in the transition swing. Not able to get as much on it as they need to, considering what they generated.
That will keep Mason Greaves at the line. Now a good swing off the other Greaves, and Logan played back again, trying to aim for the back line. Puts an hour block down, 2 different blockers, and this is a strong rally by UBC so far. Try and block it again. Time Queens gets it down on the cross.
Man, that rally just speaks for itself there. That was a lot of high-level plays. And look at this shot from Carr that it takes to beat the defense. That's impressive.
2 apiece. Now in set number 3. Now bring Carr back to the line. Carr, too strong and too far. Service error, UBC point. So the 7th seed continuing to put on a feisty fight. Brings up to the line this time for the Thunderbirds. Borowski. That time clipping the tape. Zimmerman. A little bit of an adjustment mid-air that time to Mitrovic. One back over Mitrovic, sets up on the far side. They go instead towards the middle-ish. That time, Berderovic ready for it.
Another small play there. Not quite the location Greaves would like on that transition set. That's Logan out of the libero position there. Good serve by Borowski.
Bert Erovic stays at the line. 4 kills his direction so far. Low receive. And tough swing, deflected away. Gingerra gets it off the Queen's touch.
Yeah, UBC manages, fights off that tough float serve there. Get it in the zone where they need to, one-on-one on the outside. Gingerra's really, really hard to stop with us in that situation.
Gingerra has been stellar today. He's got 11 kills. We're only a couple moments into set 3. Star of the day. Serve that time, Robinson Dunning. Back down for the cross swing yet again.
Zimmerman, watch this play here by Mitrovic. Ball is up there. Quick set to the outside from Zimmerman. Mitrovic inside on the hard angle. How Greaves got his guys going, Gingerra and Pratt. Zimmerman's got to get Mitrovic going in this set here.
Zimmerman back to swing, the arcs major. For a softer attempt that time on the float. And off the libero it goes, sent off the hand of Sedgwick.
One of those plays where it may come back later in the set. You know, opportunity like that, a little mishit ball. Those are the plays, especially with your libero over there in position 5, that you need to make those plays.
Pratt now, for his sake, 19 attacks already, 7 kills. He's also picked up an assist and a block assist today. Zimmerman, kick back right to the block. UBC trying to kick it backwards. Doesn't work that time through.
Zimmerman short side set there to position 2. Gave a couple balls to Mitrovic out in position 4. This one here sticks with him. It's a great choice. Get him a ball before he goes back to serve.
Mitrovic so far today also part of the double-digit kill club, 10 today, along with an ace. That time that adds to the error club. That's his 2nd here today. That brings up Gingerra back again. So far, his service game has had a couple errors for that sake, but outside of that has been stellar on the attack. And look at that placement. Back corner, gets it down for the ace.
That's a heck of a shot by Gingerra there, right into the corner.
Gonna get that placement again. Looks like a small adjustment already coming through from Mitrovic. This time it's a service error. So just the point right back, 6-7.
Yeah, Gingerra takes one with a good serve. Probably like to see that one. Well, obviously a different result, but you probably want to keep some pressure on Queens here to see if they can stay in the game.
See how this time it flies through from Zapchak. Played for a quick play off of Zimmerman's hand, the swing. That time put through by Emery. Good placement by Mason Greaves.
Yeah, excellent placement right there, right where it needs to be to Emery. Pretty good block, small window to go through. Zimmerman gets a hand on it. High level play there by UBC.
That brings Emery back to the line. Emery, got a bit of contact initially. Sets up Ben Carr. Now, the opposite response. Flying out with no touch. Queens is back on the board again, 8-all.
Queens fortunate on that one. Come back around there. Carr has to stay. Carr takes that ball when Mitrovic really probably should have.
So they have adjusted to 7, serving 8, by the way. Originally scored 8-all. Venning gets it across regardless. Blocked this time through by Queens. Scrambled by Gingerra. Now Zimmerman. Set up well with Carr. Now a reset, and look at the toss. The awareness for the pop.
Yeah, I keep pointing out these small plays, but this advantage position well before Greaves scores that point. Again, it was another ball played over to the middle blocker, not quite in the position where Zimmerman needs it to run the full offense.
Again, and a next-gen team member looking very stellar on all these setups. That time, no pass through Bert Erovic, and the ball sent to the side. 9-10, serving 7.
This is an important moment for Queens here, right? We had a small execution error, you know, and then an attack error here. This is a dangerous zone with Greaves serving here.
Greaves sets up, tough serve that time near the front side. Blocked down by UBC, but it's out. Queens gets the point.
That's the play that needed to be made by Carr. There was no cross court there. He went to it late. He went to the block out. Hard to see from here if it was in or not in, but the linesman, no hesitation at all on that call.
Surprise for the UBC fans, but there's an official right there. It's Carr. This guy up, tossed across, that time by Pratt. Swing back in response by Queens yet again. Here come the Queen Gaels, down by 1.
Now you see the energy coming up a little bit on the Queens side there. You know, maybe a fortunate bounce by Carr. But he made the right decision on that block out, followed up with a strong serve.
Raleigh continues for Queens to get back into it. Carr stays at the line. And that just missed the back line for the service error.
That was close. That was a very good serve by Carr. So I don't know if you're Queens, that's a close play in your favor, a close play against you. You brought it 1 point closer. On you go.
Queens march during the season 1.95 aces per set. Error in response from UBC, and momentum has just about fully switched. 10 serving 11.
Borowski's still struggling at the service line here. You come back around, like you said, you can feel this momentum changing a little bit. This is one of those moments where you need a make from Brderovic. See if you can block D can get you back to equal here.
Brderovic this time. Save from the middle third. Now right into a couple different faces. I think that might have hit hard off Mitrovic's face as that goes down.
Gingera, not many options there other than hard right into the block and hope for a bounce, and it went his way.
Darrow on a good stellar swing. Here comes Robinson Dunning looking to try and build a cushion. UBC now up by 2 here in set 3, 12-3 here on CBC. And the response back from Queens misses. Trovic, good idea on the cross, but too strong.
Yeah, it was a tough play. This is a good serve over here. Robinson Dunning getting the ball over on the front row attacker on Mitrovic. He's got to receive it with his hands and then release to the outside.
Robinson Dunning stays at the line. UBC looking to see if they can build some momentum for an upset here today in the quarterfinal. Service error. Queens will try and see if they get the advantage, but the advantage still UBC on that initial rally.
Absolutely. UBC's maintaining the lead here. You know, like you said, you can kind of feel Queens building a little bit of momentum. We'll see where it goes.
Now, can they sustain it? Zimmerman looking to sustain momentum here off the serve. Greaves sets things up, and a hearty swing for Dawson Pratt for the kill.
That's a big swing by Pratt. You see here on the replay. Look where that reception goes. Okay, in any volleyball game, if you're the team that can score the point on reception when the ball is that far off the net, it's definitely to your advantage.
Pratt now 8 kills today. Look at the hardy, quick hands by Zapchak. Response back though, precise as well. Gingera adds to the kill totals.
Greaves over there in position 5, really impacting the game, right? That was, it was not the cleanest hit, but it had a really high percentage of scoring. Greaves digs it out, gets it right to his brother. Fastball to Gingera. Queens is forced into the timeout.
The 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship continues all weekend here at the University of Windsor through March 15th. Tournament packages and single game tickets are on sale now. Visit usportstickets.ca to guarantee your seat today. Chase the glory. Ring ding ding, the bells go off and amidst the PA system here as we get ready to see how things go out of the timeout. UBC up 15-11, Scott. Looking very hardy, this momentum swing. And hey, remember, the Lancers also have some matchups later. Some of them, even their mascot, having some intrigue on this one.
Yeah, it looks like the mascot taking a little bit of a break on this one, saving some energy maybe for later on at the 6 o'clock game. We'll see where it goes. The energy right now on the UBC side, man, especially with Greaves over there in position 5. You know, that libero position, we saw it in the first set there with Francis. He made a couple big covers, a couple big digs. Now we have Greaves on this side here, defending the ball, putting some pressure on Queens to really, really need an almost perfect action to get the ball to the floor.
So we'll find out how these teams respond out of the timeout. Pivotal part of the match to see if you can control the advantage into set 4. Here comes the server in Pratt. Pratt, talk about long kills. He's also done a lot of deflections here, 7 of them. Zimmerman played up, preventing quiet so far in the 3rd set. They go back to him for a 2nd attempt. This time pass back over on UBC touch. Queens point.
Now, Zimmerman's going to need those 2 guys. He's going to need Venning, and he's going to need Mitrovic, right? That was 2 balls in a row to Venning. Nice deep shot there, force UBC to defend. You know, try not to hit the ball over there to position 5 to Greaves. Let somebody else beat you on defense.
Mitrovic set things up on the high loft in the power. Knocking back Logan Greaves in that sequence. Quick response down for the kill. UBC again strikes.
Yeah, nice shot by Gingera. Good serve by Mitrovic, handled well by Greaves. Mason giving the ball out there to Gingera, letting him reach high on the long cross court.
Gingera now sets things up on the far side. Stellar day attacking. 14 kills now. And a hardly difficult serve. 3 different touches, still couldn't get it back down and over.
Yeah, Gingera really close to the service line on that one. Thought that toss was a little bit far. Queens maybe a little slow to pick that up.
Gingera gets the lead up to a set high 5, 17-12. Team setting up for the far side corner. Scramble up now with Venning off the touch. UBC sets up the power back once again, that time for Pratt. Response back gets blocked from Carr. Yet again, another tap at the net. Zimmerman up for Carr again. Laid back, once again to the back row. Rally starting to form up. Zimmerman, rough pass, nearly skied up at the ceiling. Did get a 3rd touchdown and free it. Swing back into the blockers, drops down, Thunderbirds point.
That's a big rally there. Queens invested a lot of energy into that rally. Coach DeGroot looks like he's going for the timeout here. But good recovery, position 6 defense back there. UBC playing to the strength of their block slow down. Queens defending a few balls, getting the high ball swings on the outside. UBC block taking a good chunk out of it.
Now fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click the QR code on the screen to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future U Sports Championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win U Sports prizes. Join the U Sports fan panel at usportsfans.ca. So at the timeout here, Queens using both of them now in this set. What would you do in this situation? Down by 6, need a rally. What's the message?
Yeah, well, at this point in the set, you know, your chances of turning this, although there's, you know, you're still on the right side of 20, but your chances of turning this in your favor are not very good. You know, what you like to see here is establish a little bit of offensive rhythm. You know, if I'm Zimmerman, if I'm on the Queens side, you know, get a couple of your main guys going, get Venning going, get Mitrovic going, and then see what that gives you. You know, it's important you get Gingera off the line here, and then you see what you can build.
So Gingera now pop up on the far side. Sends up past the server. And a tough receive, overpass in fact to the receive. Toss across, doesn't work this time. Again, overpass that time. Mason Greaves getting in on some swings.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit scrambly on the Queens side there. You know, when the game starts to get away from you, you sort of feel the pressure. You know, that sort of shoulder tension, right? You lose a little bit of your precision on those small actions, and then they start to accumulate for the other side.
So this match getting a little bit more intriguing as we go here. Once again, the swing down by Carr. Tap for the net, have to free it. Pumped across. Zimmerman. Back set for Venning. Venning gets it off the touch for the kill.
Yeah, that's what you want to do if you're Zimmerman, right? You want to get a couple of transition balls to Venning. That's the guy you're going to need to score some points for you. You know, still on the UBC side here, Greaves makes an amazing dig. It goes into the net and sits there so they can recover it. You know, if you're Queens, you have to avoid getting into that sort of that frustration feeling.
Now at the service line is a different player here. This is Vaughn Dyko, second-year science major for Winnipeg. Sets up around the far side. Watch UBC get the point. 20 serving 13 either way.
Yeah, that's a good serve by Dyko there. Knocks UBC out of system a little bit. You know, when you come in that situation as the middle blocker, you got to remember that you're also the primary defender.
Zapjak will sub back in a moment here as the libero also rotates in. We'll see Alex Emery. Yeah, to swing 6 kills. Couple deflections so far today. And that's out. Service error. That adds to that category. He's got 2 now today.
If you're Queens, this is the guy going back to the line here, Venning. This is likely the last time he comes around in this set. So this is your opportunity here to really go all in on block D and see what you can get.
Venning the server, and a service error. There have been combined 25 of them, 13 for Queens, 12 for UBC, 21 serving 14. Mason Greaves now goes back again. It's time, and hold on, we have whistles blowing.
Oh, we lost the ball on the sideline. They wanted a 3-ball system, so we got more than one volleyball going here. Sometimes the ball escapes.
Yep, and obviously when you have multiple volleyballs, it's very hard to track which one's actually the playable one.
Exactly.
Here comes Mason Greaves the second time. It's time play libero to libero, but tossed across.
Nice take by Francis there. That's maybe another way that you can change that momentum a little bit. You know, you get your libero. UBC's done a nice job getting the ball on the outside hitters. If Francis is able to take a little bit more court, free up those outside hitters, maybe they can build.
Zimmerman was the one who finished the toss off, yes, but Carr goes back. 2 aces for Queens today. But the service errors continue to compound here as the numbers increase. 13 apiece now, I should say.
Yeah, and each of these points that UBC adds on without having to side out or get involved in a rally is really to their benefit. You know, Queens, if this game is gonna go in their favor, they're gonna have to be here a long time.
So is now back in a clutch moment at the service line. Zimmerman setting up, very soft touch, 2 taps. Good response that time by Mason Greaves. 2 blockers right for UBC, goes over. Swing off the blockers from Pratt this time. Now it's Venning, having a bump set. Krovich into the blockers and down. UBC point, 23, serving 15.
Unbelievable dig by Greaves again over there in position 5. And later on when this match is done, anybody volleyball fans, you go back and rewind that one. That was impressive.
Yeah, the action here on CBC intensifying. A bit of a scramble on the receive. Overpass by Zimmerman and whistles blow. It's Queens point regardless. Net was shaking there on that play.
Yeah, Pratt on the net a little bit on the overpass there. It goes to show the importance of continuing the rallies, right? When points start to stack up without any actions, you know, it's really hard for the trailing team to build any type of momentum.
Berderovic now sets up. Rally needed, 7-point rally. Not gonna happen there, next point. Possible set point, 24-16.
Nice run here. You see Robertson Dunning take care of it. The last couple times the middle blocker has passed the ball. Greaves has given it to him. Puts pressure on the Queens block. They have to respect the middle. Short side over the top. Fast ball.
First appearance for Nicholas Johnson from Surrey, BC. Johnson right in for the service error. Now we'll see Robinson Dunning, it looks like, sub back in. Still possible set point.
I'd like to see Zimmerman locate well on this serve, right? Create an opportunity for your block defense to maybe get a slowdown. Maybe you can grab one or two here. Start building for the next.
Zimmerman, some good serves, and doesn't happen. It's a service error, and UBC takes set 3.
I think I'm pretty sure that's 3 serves in a row for Queens into the net at the end. That's just something Coach DeGroot's not going to be happy with. That's, it's hard to overcome. It's hard to overcome that.
UBC takes set 3, 25-17. You're watching the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship on CBC.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game, the 2026 BioSteel U Sports Men's Volleyball Championship Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on CBC Gem and CBCSports.ca. U Sports on CBC, chase the glory. Getting ready for set number 4, Justin Prince, Scott Koski, coach at UBC Okanagan, as we have seen UBC itself, the Thunderbirds, on upset alert. The 7th seed up 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you talk to most volleyball people in the country. You know, this is, the number might say 7, 7 seed, 2 seed, but these teams are both championship caliber teams. You know, you got the OUA champion here, and an exceptional effort from the Manitoba Bisons. Put UBC into the bronze medal game, but this is a team that's played at an exceptionally high level all year, and they found a little bit of their rhythm.
Now they look to keep that rhythm here. Starting things off, Mason Greaves on the serve. The scramble, back off the touch. Arnie Sway. Drovich that time on the power to start off for Queens with a kill.
Yeah, and this is where your Queens, you're not happy with how that last set went. But it was plays on the UBC side that turned out. It was defensive plays by Greaves. It was offense.
Now, Zimmerman looks for a bit of offense here with this play. Watches that one sail over. Zimmerman sets things up on the setup. Mitrovic cross, now responds. Jara now set back on the regroup. Bit too far. Good idea, just missed the corner of Mitrovic.
That was a good swing. That was a good swing. It went long in the cross court. You saw Sedgwick there on that one. He came up with the cross court dig, created another opportunity. That's what Queens is going to have to do. UBC has been extending so many rallies.
UBC so far 39 kills to Queens' 33, by the way. UBC 4 aces to 2 for Queens. Venning gets himself a kill. There's kill 44 right there. 2-1.
Wow. That was, you see this one on the replay. Look how tight this ball is set to the net. Maybe can't see it from this angle, but what body control by Venning. Gets it down the line. That's a huge, huge point for Queens to keep this game where it is.
Now, Mitrovic looks to build a cushion. Now they play things up for a lofty setup. Gingera popped off, blocked originally. Logan Greaves trying to keep it going, but Queens gets it.
Yeah, and a nice block there by Venning. You know, like I just said earlier in the last set, you know, UBC was making plays, which was turning the game. That's a great block by Venning on a good swing by Gingera.
Hit percentage above 400 so far from Mitrovic. And that time it sails over. That's his third service error today. The 2 serving 3, UBC going back and forth a little bit early on here with Robinson Dunning to the line.
Yeah, Mitrovic is a guy that you don't mind if he takes, you know, puts a little bit of heat on it, but I think that's a serve that you really want to have in.
Now can Robinson Dunning get it serve again? Answer is yes. Setting up Venning again, the power. Push on. Gingera gets blocked by 3 different Yellow Jackets. Tap back across. Point UBC set up with the Dawson Pratt tap over.
Yeah, see that fastball again there from Greaves back to Pratt. Right, he's got so many shots, but that, you go back to the beginning of that play, that was a great hit by Venning. Dug cross court by Greaves in position 1.
Dunning goes for the float serve. Late again to Venning. Dig that time set up by UBC. Tight joust and whistles fly. Queens point.
Yeah, Borowski on that one, right? That's a play. Again, Venning with a great swing. Greaves with the dig. And Borowski, the set, he's got his thumb heavily taped there. That set gets away from him and point for Queens.
And over looked like possibly in that sequence. And that will set things up for Gabzak. And it looks like Queens want to clarify one thing. And it looks to be something involving Mitrovic. And looks like they are going to have, the train staff have to look at him here and put a wrap on his left leg.
Yeah, usually this stoppage here is related to blood. So he's maybe got a little floor burn on the knee, you know, something that's showing up through there, right? That's just the blood rule there on the uniform. You got to make sure that it's covered.
Looks like they've got it covered. Subject will now set up again. 4 serving 3 here in set 4. UBC up 2-1. And a service error. Over it goes. Too strong for all. That brings up good opportunity for Dawson Pratt to build up a rally.
Last set, Zabjak had a little bit of momentum there. He made 2 in a row, but already that's 2 service errors for Queens on 4 UBC points.
That time nearly lasered it downward with the angle. Whistles fly again, and that goes UBC point.
Almost a great play by Zimmerman there, just on the center line. Looks like the call was on Verderovic there.
Yeah, that was a tight window where we have the pot. And that paints the corner for the ace in Pratt.
Now the serve pass game again starting to turn a little bit here, right? 2 good serves, lots of pressure on Carr, the front row outside hitter here. This is where maybe you want to see Francis take a little bit more space, move Mitrovic over.
UBC rally, and into the net it goes. Queens point. UBC, more importantly, has the advantage for this set switch.
Yeah, that was important. However, that side out happened by Queens, you know, maintaining the 1 point gap is huge.
Yes, exactly. 5 serving 6. Benning that time on the swing. Jera lays it off the libero. Set things up for Ben Carr, into the blocks. Whistles fly, UBC point.
Good block location by UBC here. Greaves moves that block all the way in. If you remember in the last set, Carr tried to go block out down the line. Line shot there where that ball is located is just a little bit too much.
Jera looking to set up and try it out to the 5 aces in the first 3+ sets already. Venning off the tap, laid that time on the backside by Pratt. Tap back across by Roski. Roski that time leading the point charge, and UBC gets a 3-point cushion.
Yeah, nice play. It's the right play by Zimmerman here. You know, that ball is up close to the net. The middle blocker's kind of peeled out after the block situation. Not a lot of options, but that ball needs to be covered.
Jera sets up. Clips the net that time. Zimmerman. Laid back, cup bounces. Ben Carr flies out into the grandstand. Zimmerman set things up with the charge up the middle. Trovic got blocked, however, UBC point.
Yeah, give full credit here, Queens. They get the ball in the location that they need it to be. Carr just got dug on the outside. You have to figure that Zimmerman, maybe the UBC block kind of plays the percentages here. They want to try to get that ball to Mitrovic on the pipe. They're a good situation to turn that one back.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game at the 2026 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship presented by Booster Juice Sunday night here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on CBC Gem and CBCSports.ca. U Sports on CBC. Chase the glory. It's part of a busy weekend when it comes to volleyball across the nation, we'll say. It's been exciting to be a part of this so far for this year here at this facility in Windsor. The intensity has been high for both matches, but right now UBC trying to come away with the advantage after being one of the top teams on the season and one of the best records in the country in regular season play.
Yeah, this is I mean, you know, it's a bit of an understatement, but this is a huge moment here for Queens, right? This is a team, Queens, that has been at nationals regularly. They've been in this situation before. They went deep in matches last year, 5-set matches twice. You know, they understand what it takes. UBC is really forcing them into extended rallies. Queens needs to accept that this is what the game is. They're capable of playing at this level, but it's going to be tough.
UBC, remember, 2023-24 picked up the bronze. The last time they picked up a medal, ended up not making it to the Nationals last season. Queens, one of the teams that was a part of the 2024-25 rotation of teams. Bit of a scramble by Venning. Pomp up in the swing, tapped over from Carr. Flanks will fly, it's Queens point.
That's exactly what I was talking about there. Mitrovic, great pass. You see the scramble there, the extra effort keeping balls alive. That UBC's found that rhythm, right? Their game now is flow and defending and keeping balls up. Queens can build on that and see what they can do here.
Set up now for Carr at the line. Played off the libero. Again, flared back off the touch. UBC point, 10-6. Now you're scoring set 4.
Yeah, said it a few times, high-level play on both sides again here, right? That's a good serve, good pass, a nice high hit out of the middle. Queens gets a good portion of it, just can't track it down.
This time through, it's Emery. A little bit of a softer play, but still causes a scramble. Set up by Greaves, locked on the initial tap over. Second time through, UBC succeeds. Up by 5, go to Thunderbirds.
Yeah, just looking at the body language on the Queens side here, right? When balls keep coming up, on the opponent's side, you sometimes get that involuntary reaction on your own side. You know, like, what do we have to do to earn a point here? You know, Queens has been maintaining a pretty good level of play. You know, it's so important. People talk about the mental side of the game. That's where it's at right now here for Queens.
Here's Alex Emery. Pratt with the last kill credit, by the way. That one goes for a service error regardless. 7 serving 11. That now will bring back to the line this time Berderovic, who so far today, 5 kills to his credit. But the cross table, no, goes to the middle instead. Sets it up for Joust initially. Zimmerman set things up with the swing, the block around. Mitrovic on the pop around. Now back over. Mason Greaves trying to tap it over, went over the back line instead.
Now that's, I don't know what the numbers are, but that's the first direct UBC error in quite some time, right? That was a nice play by Borowski to keep that alive. Queens got the benefit of a bit of a free one there.
In terms of errors, by the way, to answer your question, 16 for UBC, 13 for Queens at the moment. 2 reception errors for UBC, 5 for Queens. UBC gets the point. They grow the gap to 4. Let's take a look.
Yeah, good response there by Robinson Dunning. Greaves handles the serve. You can see the Queens block shifted all the way over there. Robinson Dunning still finds a way.
Looks like a little bit of cleanup right behind the back line. First team All-Canadian, U Sports Outstanding Player of the Year, having an outstanding day. Mason Greaves, time with a solid serve. A little bit of a scramble, look out. Coupled in for the UBC bench players set flying as Queens set a rocket.
Yeah, it's a very, very important hit by Mitrovic there. Right, very difficult situation against a double block, gets it around and overpowering the defense there in position 6, something that hasn't happened a whole lot for Queens.
Zimmerman today has 31 assists. Diving play to begin and a swing off the tap. Zabchuk on the block. Zabchuk fakes. May have actually been the original target. St. Greaves tries to tap it over. Might have been too much over. Whistles go flying. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy on both sides there, right? You know, Sedgwick, it's hard when you get in the game like that. You know, you want to make sure you get that free ball pass. He puts Zimmerman tight, then UBC puts Greaves tight. It's a bit of a wash.
10 serving 12. Zimmerman trying to avoid things getting lost in the spin cycle. It's time to swing, goes off Zimmerman's face. Set up for a block. UBC sets it up for the point. May have gone below the net actually. Hit the net initially.
It was a really, really tough swing there from Mitrovic on that one, right? At this point in the game, it's always a bit of a balancing act, right? Do you go for it to close the gap or extend the rally?
Yeah, Mitrovic tried as hard as he could to get it over that time. Flex the other way, either way. That one flex to the bottom of the net. 11 serving 13 on that play. Here comes Queens back to serve again. This will end up bringing things to Mitrovic yet again.
Yeah, this is one of those moments, right? If you're going back to serve here, if you're Mitrovic, a miss like that, right? A strong make and a defensive play here. This is a chance to claw a point back.
They need it right now. The problem is, they just said, no thank you. Here's a service error instead.
Yeah, it's so hard, right? You want to continue to play your game. You know, you want to be aggressive at the service line. That's what got you the first set. You know, there's moments though where you need to feel the energy and you need to act based on that.
Robinson Dunning hitting 200 today on the hit percentage. It's a decent serve this time. Benning popped up a couple taps, set things up. Or the swing, Gingera says, remember me? Here's a kill.
Yeah, it's about this point in the set, in the last set, right, where Gingera came around. He had a little run there of 3 kills on 4 swings. Again, nice block by Queens. They're in the situation that they want. Gingera just makes a better play.
14 kills so far today. Robinson Dunning stays back to serve. This time, a little bit of a scramble initially. The swing initially blocked. Carr off the tap. Regardless, though, Ben Carr off the tap.
Yeah, big hit. Big hit by Carr there. The last ball that was inside, we talked about that. He tried to go block out down the line. Now when he takes it off the inside hand of the middle blocker, great hit.
And this brings in Dyko for the first time today, or second time, should say. Remember, it came in a couple sets ago. 12 kills on the season, also has 19 assists for his tallies. And it's a service error. That brings it to 16-12 for UBC. Looks like they'll make the change right back for Zapjak on that serve substitution. Brings up Dawson Pratt in response.
Yeah, this one last time he brought this serve all the way across over here to Carr on the front row guy.
He's got an ace to his credit as well, along with those 11 kills. Looks like they're ready. And into the net for a service error. That's for them.
Yeah, looks like that's where he was trying to go again on this one here, right? So, you know, we got Venning coming around here. This is, again, if you're Queens, you know, this is a situation here. The math would tell you that he may or may not come around again. You want to grab some points on this one if you can.
Remember, one of the All-Canadian second team who gets a good ace, plants it down.
And that's exactly what you need from the OUA ace leader, right? And one of your all-Canadian leaders. Coach Hawkins here sees the high level of execution by Venning there. He wants to ice him a little bit here during his timeout, see if he can pick it up on the other side.
Fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future U Sports Championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win U Sports prizes. Join the U Sports fan panel on usportsfans.ca. And the fans have been put together a treat here for this one. It is relatively close. It's very close, actually, here in set 3. What would you adjust?
Well, if I'm Queens, I go back to, you know, the beginning of the first set, right? Like, you know, things like make rate and serve percentage are just averages. You know, they were probably a little bit above average in that first set. You know, maybe at where they thought they could be, or maybe a little below in the next two. But from here to the end, you're going to have to be above average, right? I don't think I would really change anything other than, you know, you need to make sure that you're testing UBC's side out on every opportunity.
They'll set things up with Venning, staying at the line, looking to add to more aces. Strong serve that time. Played stronger on the swing by Pratt. Now Zimmerman. Played through and whistles blow as Carr trying to swing down the line.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate. That's a good dig by Sedgwick. Okay, they get exactly what they want coming out of the timeout. Venning with a good serve. Okay, you can live with an attack error here because that serve was in, right? You make a strong reception off Ichinjera here and turn this one. This could be the match right here.
17 serving 14. Gerald, pivotal moment. And Queens keeps themselves in it, down by 2.
Didn't miss by much on that one. Goes in Queens' favor.
That will prepare things now for Ben Carr. 8 kills, 4 attack errors, however, today, along with the 30-plus assists. And service error. Rough time for an error service error. That gives the advantage up 18-15.
Yeah, partly for the momentum, but, you know, it seems kind of obvious, but also the score, right? You know, the score just keeps creeping closer to the finish line without actions under pressure. That's hard.
Emery. One swinging away. Tight setup by Zimmerman. Flies too strong. Drovic trying to go across. Instead, it sails to the benches.
Coach DeGroot looking for the timeout here, I think.
Looks like...
Maybe he's used both. I'm not sure. I think if he had one, he would take it by now.
Yeah, the counter's already at 2 minutes already in this set. An adjustment here with Zimmerman. actually on the setup that time for Peterovic. Now Venning, a good dig. Played across off the tap. Queens gets a point back on the board.
Yeah, the point came from the front row, but it started in the back row. You see Venning there. There was a bit of an off-speed shot there by Robinson Dunning. Venning with the dig. Hey, the error that you gave away, you earned back there. Strong serve here. You can see what you can bring back.
So now, Peterovic trying to chip away. What's a 3-point deficit still, 19-16. Had troubles that time holding on for a bump set. Off the touch it goes, 2016.
Yeah, and the replay here again, that short side ball. Greaves to Gingera, swings around onto the back row, really hard to stop, right? Petrovic's got to stay in on that one because you have the front row setter.
Now, back across Mason Greaves. Swain off a couple blockers. UBC crowns them. The blockers ready again. They lead by 5.
Yeah, difficult situation here.
There's that timeout you're referring to.
There it is.
So Queens wants to use it and wants to talk things over late in this one. So
yeah. Queens lost a little bit of their rhythm on that one, right? You can see on the play before, the short side ball, Greaves gives it to Gingera right in rhythm. This one here, short side ball from Zimmerman to Mitrovic, not quite on the timing that it needs to be. Advantage to the UBC block.
And you see UBC in the small screen right now, part of those discussions. Some of the replays popping up here. You can see some of the activity just with that front court popping up a lot as of late.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawson Pratt, the speed that they're able to run in the transition here, right? You see how heavily that Greaves relies on Pratt, especially when he's in the front row, right? In the back row, they kind of rely a little bit more on Gingera to handle those, but in the front row, you know, Dawson Pratt's got a wide range of shots.
Yeah, that constant players of the game might be a possibility for him with how he's been able to spark up. Yes, Gingera has the kill advantage, but so far over the course of this past few sets, we've seen how big Pratt has been for this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, with the speed you can play when you have a left-handed opposite, right? If you get them in rhythm, you know, and you're not setting them too fast, you're setting them with a little bit of loop, you know, you can, left-handed opposites can just take over the game. I had a good one for a lot of years.
UBC Thunderbirds, remember 19-1 in the regular season. Have one go back to Queens, looking to try and prove that the regular season is a big one. It was a big one, but in the Nationals, anything can happen. They lead by 4 for the Zimmerman serve. Set up, the tap, Gingera. Joey Zimmerman on the dig, running play to try and toss it across. Couldn't get it back over the blockers.
Yeah, good play initially on the Queen side with the defense. Just couldn't get what they needed out of that secondary set.
Rukowski up on that charge, and here comes Sioux back in. Calvin, the third-year libero, has been used as a service substitute throughout the night. Lower serve that time. Zimmerman the setup. Swing, bounced through by Queens. Set now, Venning that time on the response. Legs go flying. Queens gets the point as it goes to the floor.
Yeah, big play by Venning there. That fastball to the outside. Venning releases quickly, reaches around to seal the line. Queens here, Mitrovic back. He had a good serve last time that just missed. This one's got to be a make.
Mitrovic needs some big points. Strong serve that time. Strong play back by Robinson Dunning. The response back by Venning. Played out off the touch of Sioux and into the grandstand.
Yeah, nice play by Sedgwick there, right? Great serve by Mitrovic. Little bit of a block slowdown there by Zabjek. Queens is on it, able to transition.
Mitrovic stays at the line. Queens 19, UBC 22. Well down time by Logan Greaves. Played back down on the kickup. Venning couldn't go to the official. Unfortunately, the official's physical. 23 serving 19, 2 points away for UBC.
Yeah, Queens got everything they wanted out of that one except for the set.
Now, Robinson Dunning, critical spot. Can set up possible match point next point. Oh, and there's some discussion here. Hold on. Robinson Dunning going to talk things over here. Looks like they're just confirming some things for the announcer rotation. Now Zimmerman wants to make sure of things before we get the serve off.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened on there, but you could see Robinson Dunning initiated his serving action and then he stopped, right? So typically once you start that, you're not allowed to restart it.
Yeah, not sure on the reason. He was looking over at Scott Scantlebury over the PA zone for a moment. Looks like we're now ready to go. Regardless, UBC up 23-19. Zimmerman sets things up for Venning. Played off soon. Bump set by Greaves. Swing by Pratt. Down, and that sets up possible match point for UBC.
Yeah, just a good rally, right? You know, Venning, Zimmerman delivers a nice ball. Venning with a good hit. Ball gets dug in position 6, transition to Pratt. UBC can end the rally, Queens couldn't.
This to move to the semifinals. Zimmerman to Venning. Blocked, but tooled out for Queens. They keep it going.
Yeah, big swing by Venning there. Takes on probably the best outside blocker UBC has there in Jajera. Works the block out.
UBC faithful, cheer. Zabjak, been up and down to the line as of late. Looking for an up. Gets the up he needs. Set up, down it goes, Dawson Braun. Pratt secures it for UBC.
Yeah, just over and over and over again here. I don't know if we'll see it on the replay, but again, Greaves short side ball to position 2, left-handed guy, plays the ball really fast. It's a lot of pressure for, especially for a middle blocker down the line in position 5. Zabjak hit a good serve. UBC just kept the pressure on.
UBC with that takes set for 25-20 to secure victory. And we talked about the seeding, obviously, with the way things were in the season, bigger in the context of things, but UBC, a big victory to get to the semis.
Yeah, a really big victory here, especially after coming back in the first set.
So on that note, it's time now to make some players of the game. Let's send it down to Scott as they get ready to award those players of the game.
To present the Nike Team Players of the Game Awards, we are calling upon the Executive Director for Queens Athletics, Linda Melnick. To present the Queens Player of the Game to number 8, Nikola Mitrovic. Presenting the Nike Team Player of the Game Award for UBC, Robin DeBarrow, the UBC Director of Athletics, to number 2, Reeve Gingera.
So session number 1 concludes on that note, Scott. It's been happy to have you alongside. Your final thoughts before we get to session 2 later today.
It's been some good volleyball. You know, this game here especially, you know, I think on this one, you know, Queen's obviously going to be disappointed in the result, but the level of execution by UBC was exceptional.
Join us for the next broadcast featuring number 5 Montreal and number 4 Windsor coming up tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to tune in. On behalf of Scott Koski and everyone, the entire U Sports on CBC crew here in Windsor, it's Justin Prince speaking, reminding you the final score of today's matchup: Queens 25-19, then UBC 25-18, UBC 25-17, UBC 25-20. Thank you for watching and good afternoon. We'll see you tonight from Windsor.